Twisted Christian. Today I'm going to discuss Trump economics, or Trumponomics. As we get closer to the global reset, global currency reset, a change in the central banking system, we're all seeing this, playing this out in the news. And as you know, the left is attacking Trump left and right. There are multiple world leaders that have tried to come out against Trump, trying to destroy our economy and keep the failed current central banking system and the failed current fiat system. As I've showed you many times before in videos, the central banks are on a gold buying spree. And this started back in the previous administration, such as China and Russia. That's where a lot of it started, because they knew what the previous administration was doing. Now, gold will destroy the current central banking system. And as you look in the current news, there's been no negative news about going to the gold standard, about central banks using gold. But see, that's exactly what Trump wanted. Because you already know, and what I've shown you in other videos, that the United States is going to go to a gold-backed system. Because he realizes that the fiat system doesn't work. The central banking system doesn't work. The world debt is at $244 trillion. And that's debt. Who is that owed to? The banking system. And that's why gold is like kryptonite to the central banking system. Now, Trump has been signaling the reset. Such tweets like saying such things as other currencies being on an even playing field. Well, what does that tell you? That tells you that that's what he's pushing for. That's where he's going. He's going to be pushing other countries to raise the value of their currency. So be prepared and be ready. And just like the Eurozone and what's going on in the European Union, it's falling apart. With the UK getting ready to leave the European Union, you're going to see that right now that a lot of world leaders are standing up to the system, right? Especially the central banking system. We have Turkey who recently just fired the head of their central bank, and guess what happened? Those in charge of the central banking system retaliated by downgrading. And how did they retaliate? They were downgraded by Fitch. Now, of course, we already know. We know what happens when a country tries to go to a gold-backed system. We saw it happen in Libya because of their plans and what they planned on doing with a gold-backed system over there in Africa. And now you can see that Libya is in a crisis. All the things that should not happen to a country is happening to a country right now. And we already know who's responsible for the downfall of Libya. Trump is also letting know that the federal banking system is not good. It's not good for the United States. It's not good for the world. And if you actually look at Trump's tweets, our Federal Reserve System cannot mentally keep up with the competition. Other countries at the G7 and France, all other leaders were giddy about how their low interest costs have gone. Germany is actually getting paid to borrow money. 0 interest plus. No clue, Fed. Let's read another tweet. The Federal Reserve loves watching our manufacturers struggle with their exports to the benefit of other parts of the world. Has anyone looked at what most all other countries are doing to take advantage of the good old USA? Our Fed has been calling it wrong for too long. So what we see here is a constant attack on the Federal Reserve. If you actually go to a Trump Twitter archive, you can see time after time after time he is constantly attacking the Federal Reserve. He's even said that he could even fire the head of the Federal Reserve. But Trump is setting it up. He's setting it up so people will finally start to get the picture that the Federal Reserve in this current banking system is not good for the United States and it's not good for this country. Now we know that Trump is winning the trade war. And with that, other countries will begin to stand up. Other countries are standing up to the central banking system. As I pull this article out from Swiss Info, just to read it here, back from July 8th, 2019, Trump and Turkey threaten heyday of central bank independence. The heyday of central bank independence now lies behind us. He is not alone among economists in delivering the last rites of the Turkish president, fired his country's top monetary policy maker, and President Donald Trump continued to attack the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell for raising interest rates too high. Even as the European Central Bank was generally viewed as the institution most protected from politics, felt a bit of the heat over the weekend as the head of Germany's ruling Christian Democratic Party said incoming ECB chief Christian Lagarde should shift monetary policy to make it comply with the bank's inflation targeting mandate. Like it or not, get used to the new normal of the dependent central banks, perpetually low interest rates, and quantitative easing. So what are they saying here? This is just another article showing that the central banking system is falling apart. They don't know what to do. Here's another article from Trump to the president of Turkey. Populists are assaulting central banks. What's stopping Bibi? And here's another article. The independence of central banks is under threat from politics. And of course, they're going to say that this is bad news for the world, which is not. Because in 1971, we went away from the gold standard. We went away from the gold standard, which led to what? $244 trillion debt. The central banking system cannot maintain it. The central banking system cannot reverse it. There is nothing that they can do to do that because it has been growing for over the last 50 years. And this is exactly what the central banking system wanted. They wanted to put people in debt. They wanted to put countries in debt for what? For the gain of wealth. So that's why we're sitting here watching the global reset shape and take place. And like I said before, Trump is winning the trade war. Despite the media, despite the attacks, despite all the negative news. Yes, some companies are moving out of China, but China's economy is suffering right now due to the tariffs and due to China losing the trade war. Trump's agenda is to remove the central banking grip on the system. The system does not work. And this is all part of the plan. This is all part of the plan from the very beginning. If you listen to Trump when he was running for president of the United States, constantly he was bashing the federal central banking system. A little known president, I can't say his name, of surname, has fired the head of the Caribbean Community's National Central Bank in a move that has sparked fears that the administration is seeking to replace him with a more violent governor who would be more prone to bailing out the administration ahead of general elections in a year's time. And what does this tell you? There is a movement against the central banking system. Now, folks, this is going to happen. We are going to see a gold-backed system. Central banks just love gold, and it's going to stay that way. Now, regardless of how this started out, which was an attack on the United States economy, this is exactly what Trump was hoping for in shaping and molding and forming. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to what the President of the United States is saying. The central banking system is going to go away. So what do you have to do? You have to prepare yourself. You have to be prepared and be ready. Because Trumponomics is going to allow you to benefit from this economy. If you do your research, you do your study, you study the stock markets, you see which markets are going to go up. Once this China trade deal goes through, the stock market is going to end up shooting through the roof. Now the left and the powers that be are going to do everything they can to destroy this United States economy. Despite all the other central banks cutting interest rates, they don't want the United States to cut interest rates. They don't want the central bank of the United States to do anything good for this country because they want to see him removed. And they think by trying to cause a recession going into the 2020 election is going to help them remove him from power. They have another thing coming. We already see what's going on in the UK with Boris, and you're going to see great deals and great wealth come to the UK as well. So keep your eyes on that. If you look at the negative news concerning Brexit, if you look at the negative news concerning the UK leaving the EU, it's absolutely disgusting. They are trying to fight the will of the people because they won't have control. Now, gold will rise slowly as central banks begin to buy more and more and more gold and give rise to destroying the debt. It will give rise to destroying the central banking system. And you're going to see a great new world economy that is gold based, that is gold backed. And I just want to encourage those people who are invested in currencies, who are invested in the stock market, who are invested making your life better. Hold on, because change is coming. Twisted Christian out.